Traders, Mike Katz here, coming to you with today's trader takeaways. Hope everybody had a great weekend. And today was a little bit of a quieter day as far as what we were trading. Spies were on the quieter side, range was tighter. Let's look at the daily here. We're still within the middle of this range on the daily. We're getting tighter and tighter. We had a pretty strong day on Friday, and today was a small body day. We did just north of 60 million shares, so not a whole lot going on, and a few names were in play, but I'd say overall, the desk had a quiet day and not too many symbols were really in play. So let's look at what I was focused on today. This BLNK was in play. Unbelievable mover, lots of volume. Let's look at it real quick. So this is a former runner, trash name. What they do is they have charging stations, and they announced on the PR that basically they installed 3 charging stations in Whole Foods for electric vehicles, and that they will install some more as they open some more new locations. So this stock caught a bid, and there wasn't really a whole lot going on other than this, but it caught a bid. There was a lot of volume. Float is about 13 million shares on this, and we turned over the float about, if I'm not mistaken, about 4 or 5 times, and closed strong, a lot stronger than I initially thought it was going to close. And there was a buyer. There was a type of buyer that you don't usually see in these types of names, which threw me off a little bit, but I was able to kind of hang in there and see what the stock wants to do. So it ran up early. Let's look at the chart on this. Popped early. I wasn't doing anything in it until right around here, where it looked like it might top out here below 350. So I took a stab at it on the short side, and it got stopped out. It went up, and I took it off. So that's one thing I did well. I think that I was able to cut the trade off, lose 1 R, as opposed to fight this thing and let this turn into a multiple R loser. So that's one thing that I did well. And then it started going higher, and it went up as high as 4, and I was able to capture a short here and cover some, and it went even higher than 4 after, and stuffed pretty hard near 420. And at this point I was getting bigger versus 450, and got a nice little stuff there, pulled back, covered some, and from that point on I just kept trading around a core. And even though it went higher, I ended up doing okay because I was trading around a core position. This thing had a lot of liquidity, had decent range for a $4 stock, and I would have done even better if I was more actively trading it, as opposed to trying to work into a position that will become a day holder. But that's all hindsight, right? So this thing ended up coming back up, and before we talk about it coming back up, we see that it looked here as though this thing might be done. It's making a lower low, lower high, backside is looking like it might be in, but instead of getting follow through, instead of going to tag VWAP and going lower, we end up reversing, trap a lot of shorts, shake the longs out, and bam, curls up, and before you know it, we make new highs. So the shorts were stuck, and at this point I say, oh, now I remember. At this point, when it was curling up 380, right around here, I thought to myself, shorts are trapped. If we curl up from here, we might test highs. And it did go ahead and rally pretty hard, but it got stuffed there. So when I saw there that it couldn't really sustain new highs at this level, right here, 460, went to 470 and failed, and then it went lower, and the bounce was pretty small. I started getting in on the short side again, this time risking off of $5, And when he made a lower low here, bam, right there, I started getting more aggressive and then trading versus high of day. And that ended up coming in pretty nicely, I think. Yep, right there. And then just went below 4 and started hugging $4 forever. It felt like forever. This wore me out today. But it ended up basically hugging 4, chopping around, but it never made it back up to the highs. It started looking like a head and shoulders to me, where we got rejected by the left shoulder highs and kept getting stuffed at this 420, 425 level on volume. Whereas before, if you could see, once it started going up, like right here, right away, we got to move. Once it started curling up, right away, we got to move. But on this point, from this point on, where it was supposed to curl up and keep going, it just kept going sideways. So that kind of turned into some toppy action, and eventually that got a nice little pullback, dips to VWAP. I cover most of my size there, and then it starts to grind back again. So finishing off the highs with P&L on this one, but at the same time, it was really nice day in this where it allowed me to trade and not worry about liquidity, being able to get in and out, and the range was there. And the whole time I'm thinking, do I want to start swinging this? Is this trash? It has some filings. And the one thing that is holding me back and was holding me back all day from getting very aggressive with this was the fact that there was a buyer. There's clearly a buyer here. I don't know why. I'm not sure what they're thinking behind it is, but it's a type of institutional buyer. So from the way it prints on the tape, it looked to me like this might be an institution. It's not a mom and pop. So let's see. Maybe they pump another PR. Maybe this institution knows something that's coming out that the public doesn't know. I don't know, but they're buying, and I think we'll see if they end up running this thing again tomorrow. If they do an offering overnight, then this will be weaker. But I'm not going to be very aggressive on this one on the short side. This is something that has ran to $15 very recently, as recently as January. So I'm not going to get super aggressive with this one. And intraday, we'll see how it develops. We'll see if the buyer's around tomorrow, and we go from there. So I think we'll cut it off here. Spies were pretty quiet. A few names were, had earnings, some movement, but not a whole lot of action. And my focus was in BLNK all day. Ended up being an okay day. And we'll see what tomorrow brings and the rest of the week. But I'm not sure if how far along we are in the earnings season. There should be some more going on, some more earnings being reported, and hopefully that'll create some more catalysts for us to trade. But if it does get a little bit quieter, if it starts to slow down a little bit, then I will trade accordingly. We've had a good period recently and not looking to give much back. So that's pretty much it. Hope everybody enjoys the weather. It's getting nicer out, and good luck trading. Thank you guys for watching. Mike Katz, 7 Points Capital.